way, in a virtual way. It wasn't difficult for me to go to Spain due to health issues. Well, my name is Laura Rojas de Francisco, and I'm going to present business practices in the informal economy, a research made in Medellín, in Colombia, in one of the most populated parts of the city, that is the center, downtown. And well, we want to talk about this. We decided with my co-authors to uh, research about this, because there's something in the informal economy. It's not just the informal economy. For these people, it's survival, it's resistance, and this happens also in an everyday creativity, resilience. There are many things that happen, and we decided to do this research in the context of Medellín. Why? Medellín have a sector of high growth and development of the city. Almost 39 of people have an informal job. This grew even after the pandemic, and those who work in this sector do not formally see themselves. It can even say that they are invisible. The sector includes caregivers, internal migrants from Venezuela, and young people who cannot access to study or work. This led us to carry out this research, thinking about these people who are already organizing themselves, who are already working in a network, who are already have their own strategies, and that way they are giving a lot to the formal economy. So that led us to our research question. For this presentation, we directed it towards how to approach the informal economy from an intersectional perspective, from business practices of the sector, by adopting a social marketing perspective, to see that what can be done in interventions, because we want to look, this is the 1.5 year of research, and we are thinking to do many things more in the next years to provide information to public policy. Why intersectionality? Because to understand practices and dynamics, you have to understand people differences and vulnerabilities, the implications according to gender, age, background, education, and the way they rely on other people. Also, the risk they have every day, the way in which they are financed or not, and the ability to adopt actions and activities associated with marketing, even though they don't know anything about that, because as we are going to see later, they don't have the enough education to do that. Let's talk about this methodology. Our research is mixed and it's exploratory because it's a really large phenomenon. This have an approach from intersectionality. The method is a case study and has different techniques applied. We applied semi-structured interviews in situ with people who were doing their work and at the headquarters of the union, with union leaders and also more people in the union inside the headquarters. These interviews have a 20 minutes on average duration because they were made in the streets. But we also apply 2064 surveys. We made participant observation, and we recollected documents related to public policies, local reports, and news. And for the analysis, we have an interpretative approach, and we use content analysis and descriptive analysis with the service. To meet the in trustworthiness criteria, we made a triangulation and we made a debriefing with the community, with many participants and actors of the sector. And we had as guests some people for the public management. Our findings in this moment, we have evidence of practices that expose how to have charisma to give the best service that they can provide to their customers, and referrals is one of the ways that they have a lot of success in the local area. They learn from their practices to stay with the best strategies. For example, making discounts uh, during the regateo, the sales and haggling. And in the other hand, in their practices, they do not keep accounts. They mix personal and business accounts, and they have constantly to reinvest and resort to informal credit because they don't have the knowledge to manage this part. In addition, there is a daily struggle with public spaces use. There is a high competition. There are a lot of difficulties to storage, and they have security problems or persecution of those who maintain security in the space. And also, they expose themselves to the weather conditions of Medellín, a city very rainy and very sunny, and sometimes both in the same day. So these conditions can be quite a lot, but we have to say that have something really interesting. They have a capacity to adaptation. They learn, and there is a lot of resilience in the process to do their labor, to work. There are also some marketing practices from which they can contribute or we can understand, but they don't know that they are doing it. From a financial point of view, they recognize investment capital and to achieve monetary benefits are important, but they lack of investment possibilities. Although they don't have enough financial literacy. Therefore, they have to resort to usury, uh, to some actions. They had to focus to access to low, to interest, a lot of interest. Then we have to think about the way to teach how to access to low interest alternatives and finance themselves. Given its character and that the sector actually contributes to the economy of the city and its work is not dignified, we have to work on that to see they made their efforts recognized. This can be done from a social reinvention, seeing their work as an added value to the city, to the economy, to the country, to the sector, to see that their contribution to society and the economy is a whole part of the day and day of the people. Where in addition, the role of public policies research is necessary to carry it out to the necessary characterization for the possibilities that they are achieving. For all the above, there are many issues related to the educational needs that we have to make to take in account because they already have their strategies in sales, in value propositions, in relationships with the customers. They have a certain way of positioning and generating loyalty, but they do it in a practical and organic way on a day-to-day basis. They recognize that they have to learn a lot. So this research leads to a characterization that we can find in this moment. And this characterization is going to support a lot of policy makers to have a recognition and to decide in the policies. This research leads to understand that many of these people are over 40 years of age, and some of these people also are older adults. They are mostly men, 55%. They have a lot of level of education, not enough level of education. They have not finished primary school, for example. Many people have been in the industry for more than 20 years, especially women. In addition, they have sought this option due to the lack of employment. Many of these people are local, from a local origin, but more and more internal migrants and foreigners or foreign migrants are beginning to appear. They sell tangibles such as food and beverage or clothing and footwear. Many do not have a pension or do not have to access to social security system. Their support is their networks with family, with colleagues, and increasingly with local unions. What are the strategic implications? This led us to think about the co-design of interventions, but with those who are part of the informal sector, the unions, the authorities, and the local government, so that we can see these actors as a part of the urban intelligence of the city, so that their contribution can be seen. Where the policies that can be used are based on having different visions the reality of the sector. This is a process that is required in the country, in the city, and also globally. So, to finish, that led us to this question. Maybe we have to think to what are remaining public innovation. What if instead of regulating informality or pursue it, we recognize the public innovation of informal economy. Thank you very much. My email is this one. Please let me say something. Let me know if you have some doubts or questions. Thank you very much.